Hey, Sower. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome to the very first live Christmas sewing party. And I am so excited that you are here. I have some awesome guests who are going to be joining me today. We're going to be talking about things that we're making for Christmas and other holiday projects. We are going to be demoing some fun sewing themed Christmas ornaments. And so I'm super excited to get that shared with you today. We're also going to be giving away some little sewing prizes just for tuning in and hanging out with us. So I am so excited to get started. Jen is one of our guests today, so I'm going to invite her to join me. And hey, Jen, how's it going?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I see you're wearing a sweater. Like, my sewing room is way too hot today to be wearing a sweater. Like, I ran out and got this Christmas t-shirt because, here in Texas, it is going to be 81 degrees today and it's humid. So it's really lovely.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so hot. But I've got my sweater on and it's Christmassy. We have to get Christmassy today.
I know. I have like the Christmas, I have my little snowman earrings on. They're like pearls, but they're snowmen. So they're super cute. And my hat, which may get kicked off at some point because it's a little bit warm. So if you're tuning in, let me know where you are from. Drop a note into the chat because I love to know who's here. I can see that we've got 5 people watching, and we would love to see, say hi. And, if you're feeling a little adventurous, because this is a live Christmas sewing party, we are going to be bringing people on to chat and to, share what they're making, if they're making any gifts, if they're just making stuff for themselves, if you have some festive Christmas stuff. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Brenda. Brenda's in Arkansas and Patricia is in MI's Michigan. So y'all probably have much colder weather than we do. And I think I'm a little bit jealous. Jen, are you jealous?
I'm so jealous. I would love to have a white Christmas here, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So
has that ever happened? I mean, like, I can't remember it ever happening, but
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. No, I don't know if in our lifetime.
Our lifetime. Yeah, right. So that's always the challenge, right? Is snow in Texas for Christmas, and I don't think it's happening.
But we get Christmas anyway with the decorations and everybody goes all out. So
Jen has a live Christmas tree and it's really beautiful. I was up there at her place last weekend for a dinner party and it's so gorgeous. And I have my little fake one right here because I just go for the little fakie. This is my official sewing tree. I'm going to share a couple of ornaments with you guys.
So let me just get a live tree. It's like my thing every year. I don't even, just like, we're going to be gone for Christmas this year. We're going away, but I have to get the live tree. So I'm like, come on, Jason, we have to strap it to the top of the car and all of that. But it's just a thing. So I love it.
Yeah. And you have a huge, huge living room, like super high ceilings. So,
well, and I like that type of tree that's sort of like Charlie Brown, it's kind of like sparse. So I don't like the full, like really full heavy tree. It's the sparse tree that I like. And then I put the old icicles on it and glass. So yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Mine is more sewing themed. So I'm going to switch over so y'all can see this. Let me see how we can do this a little bit better. Let me do primary is going to be solo. So this is my sewing themed Christmas tree. And this is my most recent ornament, my Karl Lagerfeld ornament from Jen. So I absolutely love that. It's Karl and Choupette. I don't know if he'd appreciate being on my tree, which is very kind of homesy, but that's okay. I love it. And then we are going to be making some of these cute little thread spool ornaments a little bit later today. So I am glad that you guys are joining us. We're going to add Jen. We're going to add me back in. There we go. Let's turn this one off. There we go. And yeah, so Patricia says she is making clothes for herself this year and no gift sewing. I'm making clothes for myself. I'm supposed to make a knit dress for my sister that I've been trying to make this dress or this series of dresses because now she says I owe her multiple dresses. Um, and they're knit dresses. She wants like the Diane von Furstenberg wrap dress knockoff. Vogue has
Yes.
the pattern. I had the pattern. I got her the pattern last year on some fabric, and she's like, I'm not ready for it yet. And I was like, all right, that's fine. And so I don't know if we're going to have time to make that this year because we're leaving the 15th and coming back the 21st, but I'm going to try. And then I'm going to be making grandma another fleece zip jacket, which has like it's like a snowy scene and then there's red cardinals on it, which is her favorite bird. So
Oh, that's so
yeah, and you know, I had previously made her one last year that was snowflakes. The cardinals were available, so I bought those early this year. And that
so
is yeah.
I
What
love it.
about you,
It's
Jen?
so funny, Patricia, because I'm also going to be sewing for myself here shortly. As soon as I finish my last Christmas stocking, which I can show you guys, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
I'll
Go
grab
grab
it in a
it.
second, but I am going to indulge and make myself a pair of shorts ASAP because we're going to Mexico. So I'm like getting. I'll be selfish very soon. So good for you.
Hey, Anne has joined us, so let me add Anne to the stream. Anne, are you ready to be added? Give me a thumbs up if you are, so I can see you down here. Okay, I think yes. Okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna add Anne in. So let's see. Oh, we gotta add Anne. There we go. Hey, Anne, how's it
Hi,
going?
good morning. I'm sorry I'm late. I thought I understood technology, but I don't.
It's one of those things. It's kind of a challenge to make it all happen and come together. So
You
I got
made it.
on early. Yeah, we're glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us. So
Well, you make it
Anne
look
is
seamless, so
well, we'll see how seamless it looks. You know, there's a lot of cameras going to be happening here a little bit later, so we shall see. But we were just talking about things that we are going to be making during the holiday season. Anne, are you making anything in particular?
well, as Jen and Tony know, like I have been starting this old barrette business. So I've been making tons of barrettes. But yesterday I also teach, and so I've been just super, super busy. So I took a time out last night and I made ornaments, and I made 3 ornaments.
Oh my
Well,
God.
So
You guys
yeah,
yes,
so I
that's
was pretty
so
excited about
that
those.
is awesome.
will
That
you
is so
show and
much fun.
tell?
Yeah. Do you have them nearby that you can grab and show us?
I do. I do.
Okay, I'm gonna switch.
I made this one, which is like red with gold foil. And
Oh,
then
that's pretty.
this one is it's so simple you might not even see it, but it says Mary and it's white
Oh,
and the
nice.
Mary says is in off white. I can't not like
Pretty. Yeah, we can see it. It's iridescent.
there we go. And then I did a dove.
Oh, nice. Look at
Love
you
it.
getting all crafty early.
I love a craft. I love a
Yeah.
craft.
I like sewing themed crafts, so that's why I kind of thought it would be fun today if we did some more sewing themed crafts because having to try and sew live is extremely stressful. I have not. I usually end up just talking and not sewing when I've done these before. Hey Lee, thanks for joining us. And yeah, pop your name if you're just hopping on and you're checking it out. Pop your name into the comments, say hi, let us know where you are watching from. You know, this is a holiday Christmas party, and we're trying to pump up the spirit. So come say hi and hang out with us. And I posted the supply list, for lack of a better word, in the comments. If you were able to check that out, I sent out an email. If you are on my list, I gave you kind of a heads up that this was going to be happening. So please say hi. Let us know where you are. Okay, so just so y'all know, so Jen is my friend from college, and we met in the textile and apparel design program at the University of Texas back in the day. And we reconnected in 2020, right? I think via Facebook. I don't remember, but yeah, that's when we started hanging out again. And then I met Anne through Jen at Jen's New Year's Day party last year. And Anne likes to make, well, like she said, she has a barrette business and she's calling it a little barrette business, but it's like a really nice shop. So don't undersell yourself, Anne. So, because they're really pretty and sparkly. I have a couple, I love them. And I'll put a link in the description below after so you can go check out Anne's barrettes because there's some super cute little holiday cards that you can clip them to, which are really funny. So, do you want to say anything else about that, Anne? I'll give you the stage.
Thank you. That's a wonderful introduction. I mean, I like you. I just kind of, I mean, you've been sewing for so long, and one of the reasons I like watching you and Jen and your camaraderie is because it's like it gives me new insight into her friendship in life, but it's a side of her like artistic side that I don't often see. Like it's hard with friends because you don't always see like what they're doing on the side, and with you, I feel like I get like a sneak peek. And then also, you know, as I told you, Tony, I can't sew to save my life. Like I don't even know how to thread. I have a sewing machine that I inherited from my mom. I don't even know how to thread it. So it gives me like a lot of, I just really enjoy you guys. I know like I'm a viewer who gets to participate in the show today. Like I hope other people who view you will participate in the show. So I just kind of, I don't know, I'm a little bit of awe today, I guess.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. And
Yeah.
if anyone watching would like to join in and say hi, that is a possibility. I'm guessing, Lee, you do not want, since you do not have any cameras, but I'm drinking coffee. What are y'all drinking? I know I said festive holiday beverages, but it's morning and I'm on cup number 2. So, you know.
I'm having coffee because I've been so wacky this morning, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run out of steam unless I have a little bit more coffee. So that's me too.
What about you, Anne?
I have a Starbucks peppermint mocha, though.
Look at you getting festive holiday drinks. Yeah.
Love it.
I had to run out to Michael's this morning to go pick up the cone-shaped styrofoam because I forgot to pick it up. And hey, Julie. Julie from the Curated Curvy is here today, and she is drinking coffee. I think you're up in Dallas. I don't know if it's colder up there than it is down here in Houston, but it is really steamy today. So, and then Patricia's saying hi, Anne and Jen. Yes, Lee, I always drink coffee with chicory. That's my go-to every morning. It's just the way it is. I like New Orleans roast. So Lee thinks it's gross.
I love it.
Nice. Oh, it's cold in Dallas. So that's what Julie said. So I think that's coming this way. So we're a little jealous of you, Julie. If you want to hop on, I'm going to put the invite into the comment and I will post that to the top. And then I think we will get, here's the link if you want to join us and say hi. It is now in the comments. Let me see if I can pin that to the top. No, I don't know how to do that. Okay. Norma says it's chilly. Where are you watching from, Norma? My comments are not scrolling down quite as much as I need them to. Okay, let's get started with the project. Jen, do you want to do your scrappy cones?
Yeah. So
okay, are you set up and ready to go? So, or do you need to tilt your camera? Or let me just put you on main solo and then we will get started.
Okay.
There
cool.
You are.
Hi. So I love this because I was looking for something where I could create quickly and easily and then get kind of maximum impact, which is what I said last time I was with you, Tony. But,
yeah.
So I found this craft on, I guess it was on Pinterest, and it's just so simple. You have the foam, I dropped it, but the foam tree shape. Here's the shape. So you take the foam shape and then just kind of wrapping it with these fabric strips. And I was able to use up a whole lot of kind of scrap fabric that I had left over. I cut a vintage dress for this one. And I did this with the rotary cutter, so it was very easy. And I have a couple of different fabrics here that I'm going to tilt it down now. Let's see. Can you guys see here?
Yep, we can see it. Looks good.
Awesome. So yeah, so I have this kind of fabric, which is very slippery and was quite difficult to cut, but it's so gorgeous. And then this one, which was a little bit easier to cut, and it has this ombre. So I'm like, okay, I think this is going to be really interesting. So I'm going to make this.
And so, Jen, were these some fabrics that you just had lying around, or were these scraps left over from things you've made?
No, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say I went and bought fabric for this because I was like, I really would have something special if I'm doing a demo. And and I was like, okay. So I went to Joann's, but I bought like a half a yard, and I'm going to be able to get 2 trees out of each. So I think that, it's kind of like one of those things, if you have a little bit of fabric. I mean, this was a scrap fabric that I had. But yeah, so I did buy this, but and I cut the fabric into like a 3/8 inch wide or 1/2 inch wide. I wasn't so careful on these. And then, I'm just going to kind of clip off the selvage here so we don't have a bunch of sort of fuzzy ends that are going to be hanging off. And I take a glue gun. So you need a hot glue gun as well, which I didn't say. Sorry about that.
I think I put it in the tools that you would need. So
Okay.
I've got mine over there too. So, but I'm gonna see how your demo goes. Do you know if it's a high temp or a low temp glue gun?
Okay, this one's a high temp, and I can't remember if I use the high or low temp, but my fingers are pretty tough, and they've been burned so many times that like I think I can use the high temp. So we'll see. But I may switch over to the low temp.
Okay.
For this, I just, I started at the bottom. And the reason why I started at the bottom was because it just kind of gives you a chance to get used to wrapping, so that the top should be kind of nice and pretty. I started at the bottom, and I kind of I'm going to use this and just sort of put a little bit of glue. It's pretty amazing how little glue you need with this kind of foam, because the foam actually adheres to the fabric. It's got that kind of rough texture, so it adheres to the fabric very, very easily. And I'm noticing, I'm going to plug in my low temp in just a moment, but what I did was I just kind of put a little bit of glue here, and then I attached this to the bottom. You'll want to go around the bottom and kind of create, a little bit of you want to lap it down to the bottom, I guess you'd say, or fold it down to the bottom so that you don't have that green edge exposed. But I'm going to just start kind of rolling this and putting the glue on there. And you just kind of turn it and put a little bit more glue. I'm using quite a bit for the bottom just to get it going. But once we get that going, I think that it doesn't actually take that much.
Jen, if you want to lower your hands a little bit, just so we can see a little bit better. There we go. Right there is good. Yeah, that's perfect right there on that edge.
Now, the other thing I will say is this is a very ravelly fabric, as you can see. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't mind that look. I like that look. And then I'm going to trim the edges when we're done, just to take away some of the flyaways. But I sort of like that kind of messy look. And Tony and I are different here. The way that you could kind of counteract that is by taking the strip, doubling the width, and then folding it and pressing it. Then that becomes, kind of a strip that you can use that one as the one that shows. And then when you lap it over, the next one is like that. So you could do it in a more sort of finished and organized way if you wanted to, by doubling the width of that 3/8 inch strip. And then using that. Now I'm going to plug in my low temp because the high temp is too hot for this. I can tell it's going to be too hot for this foam. So
okay, that's good to know.
Second.
So while we're waiting for Jen to come back, let me say hi to Cheeky Fox, who is in North Germany. I am sure you have snow. We were talking earlier about how it is very not cold here in Houston, Texas, where the three of us are. It is going to be 81 degrees today, and it is very humid. So we're supposed to have rain and a cold front come through tonight. But until we get to that point, it is quite warm here. I am in my Christmas t-shirt that I went and got this morning because my sweater is entirely too warm. So let's see if Jen, are you ready to get going again?
I think it's warming up, but I was going to show off something. If you want to I'm just going to take a second. You know what I wanted to say to Anne too is that I completely relate to you feeling closer to Tony through her videos, because when I miss Tony, I pop on the channel and I just watch it. I'm like, it's almost like being together.
It is. It's a lot like being
So
together.
It's
except I don't hear you.
It's a wonderful. Yeah, so I love that. And okay, so let's see if this is ready.
Okay, let's see. See, I plugged in my high and low glue gun because I wasn't sure which I needed. And it's funny because I have like a whole bunch of glue guns and most of them are not labeled as high or low, but I did at some point actually write it in Sharpie. And so that way I know the two that are high and low and the rest of them is just kind of like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Is it going to burn stuff up or not?
I put a cordless one on my Christmas list this year. Like the cordless glue gun.
I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Yeah.
I didn't either. I did not either. I'm a little jealous, man. I'm a little jealous.
Loving it. Okay, this is not quite hot yet, but
okay. So let me switch back over here to solo layout. And if anyone wants to hop on and chat with us and be on screen, I know it's a lot of pressure. We're all friends here. This is a fun sewing hangout. And it's going to be a good time. So if you want to join in, the link to join is in the chat. I popped it in at 10:15, so it's easy to find. Let me put a star next to it and see if y'all can find that. I don't know. So here it is again. I will pop it up. Just look for it in the stream. It's at 10:15. I did put a star on it. I don't know if that helps. Oh no, I think that only shows up on my end. So apologies. I'm still new to doing the streaming software thing. It's going better than it has before. So, and it's nice to have guests. So Jen, how's it going? Are you at temp yet?
I am. So
okay, cool. Then we're going to switch back to Jen so y'all can see her wrapping magic.
Now this looks like a big mess, but I promise once we get it going, and you trim it, you can see that it's really gorgeous. All right.
And it's like, I like the, I actually have a whole bunch of fabric scraps cut to do this project with. And, I wasn't sure if Jen was going to be able to demonstrate because of the setup in her living room, which is very pretty, but there's not really a big table in there. So I see you're improvising.
I did.
Yeah, so I was like, let me just have that ready to go just in case. But I have a bunch of scraps cut and mine are just remnants of things, past projects. So it's kind of fun, I think, to be able to go through and look at things that you've done over the year and then use some of that to create some, Christmas decorations. And it's just kind of fun. Yeah, Christmas magic. Yours are more magical than mine are, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, this one is just so simple, and the weirder the fabric, the better, I think. These are fabrics that I probably would never sew with, but well, I don't want to say never say never, but they kind of create something interesting when they're used in this way.
I'm still kind of surprised that you found them at Joann's, because I think your Joann's has to have different fabric, because I've not seen fabrics like this at my Joann's.
Well, you have to dig deep in the tacky section because, and they were on sale as well. Like, I mean, I think I paid $7 a piece for half a yard. So I'm like, okay, I think that's a pretty good deal. So, and now I'm kind of you can see here this, and then the pattern kind of creates something different as it wraps. So yeah.
That is very cool. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to switch back. There we go. I know I keep talking through the video and about switching cameras, and I apologize if that is obnoxious, but I have to like look, and there's a lot of screens up here today.
You're
so
great. You're doing great.
There are a lot of areas. Okay, so while Jen is working on hers, if you are doing that project, let me know in the comments. Jen, are you going to continue doing that? I'm going to go to a second little project. This is my button project. So let me switch cameras, and I'm going to walk over. We'll walk around my table because this is my cutting table. If you watch the videos, you're familiar with the setup in here. So let me go and switch that camera. Now, I tried to turn, I have my computer on a lazy Susan to try and get it to turn, and then I disconnected everything. So I'm not going to turn it. I will not be able to see your comments for a second, but let me go do the button little project that I want to share with you today, and then we'll check back in with Jen and see how she's doing.
Yeah, check back with me later.
Okay, so this is the other part of the table. And so this is a fun little project. If you looked at the Pinterest board, let me see if I'm not on camera. Here we go. Okay. So I think I'm on camera now. Yes. Okay. Move up a little bit. There we go. So this is just like random buttons. And I always have buttons around in jars. I poured some of these out so I could kind of go through them and see what, what I had. And I actually did have a lot of green buttons. These are some of the buttons that I got from my Aunt Pat when, after she passed, and we were going through her sewing stuff, and nobody else wanted it. And since I love buttons, I'm like, let's do this. Let's do a button project. So I've got some floral wire. This is an 8-inch long piece that I have folded in half. And this is not the super, super thin one. It's a little tiny bit thicker, but depending on the size of your buttonholes, you might want to go with the thinnest or just buy the thin one to be on the safe side. So I'm just threading these through these buttonholes. And I kind of went through and got some different sizes. I pulled out all the green ones I could find because that was, I want this little Christmas tree to actually look like an actual Christmas tree and not be a multicolored Christmas tree. And then these also just happen to be the ones that were in the jar I grabbed first. So that's why we are going with this. And as you can see, I'm just threading these in, kind of stacking them up. And these buttons have pretty big holes in them, so I'm not stressing, but some buttons are definitely smaller. So that's why I would recommend just going with the smaller floral wire. This is just floral wire I had lying around for some project at some point. And so, I did this earlier and it did not take very long. And now I can't get the buttons threaded through this thing. So, and the funny thing is, my sister sent me this. She found it on Pinterest and then sent it to me. And I was like, oh, that looks cute. Maybe I'll do that this year. And then when I came up with the idea to do this live stream, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to do this because it would be just a fun, easy, quick kind of project that I can show and demonstrate fairly quickly. So that's what we've got so far. It's stacking up to kind of look like a little tree. And then I've got this button to go on next. One, and then there's like a little tiny green one to go on top, which I don't know. I think this should fit. We'll see. I found this one after I tried this, so let me see. There we go. Okay. So now I have my little Christmas tree. As you can see, I did add some white, some snow on the branches. And then I was going through, I have all these random kind of beads that I got for the other project. And I found this one, which is a little star, which I thought was super cute to put on top of the tree. I cannot find any more of these in that bin, but I thought that was super cute. So next I'm going to take my pliers, and these are just some jewelry making pliers that I found on Amazon. I can put a link in the description if you guys want these. It's actually a set of 4, so they have like these fine kind of snips, and then they have tiny pliers. It's just convenient to have if you're going to be doing anything really that involves kind of projects. And let me start bending this to kind of make a little loop on the top. We'll see how successful I am. I did not try this part yet, so. And then this is, you can make this, of course, you can cut this shorter if you want. Let's see, make this happen. There we go. And then let me bend this one around a little bit. I think I'm going to clip off this longer one. So that's going to be definitely a lot more work to get that one cut. These are a little stabby, so be careful that you don't hurt yourself. I'm trying to not have any injuries on this live stream. So there we go. You could definitely make a better loop at the top, but I think that's very cute, and it's a fun way to use some extra buttons. Now, of course, if you decide you need these buttons for something, you can also just quickly take this all apart and then use them.
Point.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. It's not like a permanent. Some of these were like using hot glue to stack the buttons, and I was like, but then if you need them, you're kind of stuck. So that is our first quick little project, and I hope you guys like that. I thought it was fun. I love buttons. So you can also make these little standing ones, but then you have to worry about the little bend at the bottom. But I just really like that. I thought it was fun. Let me put that there so y'all can.
That is so cute.
Look at it. Yeah, and then I saw that people had made like little angels and like all kinds of things with a variety of buttons. So that was just you know, it's one of those things that you can just kind of do when it's fun and it's quick. And if you've got a lot of buttons lying around like I do,
oh my God.
You can probably find enough free ones. Yeah, for sure.
Tony can't pass up a jar of buttons. She's got to get, it's like,
I got to buy them.
She's got to have her vintage buttons, and I love it. Every self-respecting sewer should have vintage buttons at some point. Yeah,
Brenda, the button tree would be fun to do with kids. Like I said, just watch out for the stabbiness of the wire because that would be the only thing. But yeah, it's super fun. It's quick, as you can see, because I just popped on and did it. You know, it's great. So if you want to try that, Brenda, let me know how it goes because I'd like to know. And you know, it's just fun. So I'm gonna let me go grab it and I'm gonna add it to my tree. And Jen, how is it going with you? How are things? How are you progressing?
Good. I'm good. If you want to come back to me, there's a few things that I've kind of realized in doing this. Of course, I'm not a pro at demoing on camera, but one of the things that works better is when you kind of really pull the fabric, and that helps you stretch it kind of to make, you know, kind of to make it lay flat against the form. And yeah, we're coming up on the top here, and that's where we need to kind of change our method. So I'm going to show this one here. This is my kind of go by. And the top here, once you get to the top, you've got to kind of create a little bit of a, I don't know what you call this, but you've got to kind of gather it to the center and create the top there. So this part is a little bit different. Of course, there's glue underneath this, and you kind of have to use a little bit more glue on the top, but that kind of gives it a little bit more clean top. So I'm coming up on that part now, and we shall see how this goes.
Do you guys think you could do the same project with craft ribbon, like leftover ribbon that you have? Yeah. Like if you had like Christmas ribbon that was left over from wrapping or that you got as gifts?
I think so. You know, I could even try it here. I've got extra forms and I do have ribbon. The only thing is ribbon tends to be a little bit firmer in how it's made. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't give as much as fabric does. Fabric will, you know, you can kind of shape it and adhere it to a shape like this, as opposed to something like a ribbon, which would be firmer and give less, I think. But I could be wrong about that.
I think it sounds cute in my mind with like doing like leftover ribbons from like, you know, for the next year.
I know. Oh,
that's what I was thinking, with the ribbon to get it to Brenda. But then Brenda just had a really good thing about making self-made bias tape would work for making a fabric tree. And I think that would probably work really well because it's on the bias. So it's going to stretch more than regular fabric. And it would also be like easier to kind of get going up in that conical shape just because, you know, you've got more stretch. So
what's bias tape?
That's so true.
So, yeah. Okay. So for Anne, who doesn't sew, bias tape is like the diagonal of the fabric. So if you have your little fabric piece, and that's the regular stretch of it, just plain weave. And then on the biased, it's like on the diagonal. So you've got more stretch. And if you make bias tape, which I don't know how to do, Brenda apparently does, you can make tape out of this, like long strips that are on the bias, and you connect them all together and they kind of have folded edges. And then you can use that to finish seams. You can use it to finish the edge of quilts, or you could use it for a Christmas tree. And it would probably be pretty easy to get going up on that cone, much more so than, you know, ribbon for sure, because ribbon's going to have more of a set shape. So Lee had the suggestion to put a button on the top of the tree.
Oh,
and
gosh.
that would be cute for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then
that's such a good idea.
I wasn't sure how Jen finished the tops of the trees. So when I ran up to Michael's, I got some of these funny little like pom-pom things. This is like the floral in the floral department. With like little,
my gosh.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you could totally cut this and then stick it on top. And then regardless of what fabric you use, my fabric was going to be this red, and it has silver on it. And so I thought that like, oh, that would look cute with a little silvery pom-pom on top, and then just give it some additional color and sparkle. Cute. Yeah. So Lee said to put a little button tree on it. So thank you, Lee. Yes, you could do that. That would, I don't know how that button tree is going to stay up there. So we'll have to see how that works. But
I was thinking with the button tree,
put it down there.
I'm interrupting you, Jen. I was thinking with the button tree that like I would do it because listen, I'm like the Real Housewife that has like the commentary housewife, right? So there's always got to be one who like cuts in with commentary. I would do it with like a gold jewelry wire and then little baby earrings maybe because you have those tiny buttons.
Good.
Or could you imagine as like a little like brooch or something if you did it with like a gold jewelry wire?
Oh my gosh.
That would be super cute.
So cute, Anne. So cute.
Okay, Jen, are you at the top to show everybody how's it going?
I am. I'm almost done. And then, okay, so I just I went around and I'm kind of folding the fabric as I go here. And I'm just about to cut the end of it. And I'm sort of like, I wish I had like a black jet button to put on top of this because it would be so cute.
That would be one of those vintage buttons. That'd be really pretty. I might have a button for you, Jen. So you'll have to bring the tree the next time you come over and go through my button stash.
Okay. Now, the wonderful thing about this is that it doesn't have to be super perfect, in my opinion. You know, I'm not like the most dexterous person, so
I think it looks great, Jen. I kind of like the little, right? I kind of like, hold it lower. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like how the edges are ravelly. It kind of gives it more of like a little tree look.
It does. You're right. I might trim it just a bit, some of the longer pieces, but I think it's pretty cute. Now there is a better side to it, and then I would go in here and fill in and kind of tighten this up so that it adheres more to the shape. I may do that. But I think it's pretty cute.
I think it looks super cute too. What do you think, Anne?
I think it's really cute. I was just thinking about Jen is so classy. We're totally different in that aesthetic. And those are such like beautiful trees. Mine would be all gaudy. I was really looking forward to the ugly green. I was like, make me a Golden Girls muumuu out of that green fabric, please.
Yes, like a kimono, a beautiful
Yes, like
kimono.
a Blanche Devereaux kimono. Yes, please. I'm there for
Yeah.
it.
True.
That would be quite spectacular for sure. For
It's
sure.
Can
so
you do,
fabulous.
Tony? Can you do a Golden Girls inspired like sewing day?
The funny thing is that Jen and I had talked about that like a while ago of like, let's design something. What should we do? And Jen's like, let's do something that's Golden Girls. And I was like, okay. But then it like, we never like, we got
never
busy with
did
other
it, but
stuff, so.
I love that.
If any of you would like to watch some kind of Golden Girls inspired thing, we might try that. So let me know if y'all are Golden Girls fans, like we obviously are.
Tony, what Golden Girl are you?
Yes.
Oh gosh. You know, that's the hard thing because like I want to say Blanche because you know she was the most stylish one, but yeah, I don't know.
I think you
she was
might
also
be. I think you might be grandma because I can't remember. So she's Sophia.
no, that's Anna. Anna's Sophia.
Okay, you're right because Anna has a salty comeback when you don't expect it, and that
It's
was
true.
Sophia. You know, and
Yes,
it's
yes.
and you do too.
Yeah.
I swear sometimes Tony, you just like come out with things, and I'm like, oh my god. So I
Thank
think
you.
you're a little bit grandma too.
Okay. So Lee said Golden Girls or Designing Women, which I think would definitely be the other option of our youth. And then Patricia loves the Golden Girls too. We do too. I don't see how you can't. I mean, I realize I was not the target audience at the time, but I think it profoundly affected all of us because we watched it, even if maybe we weren't the target demographic. And I think what I found the most surprising is that they weren't as old as I thought they were.
No,
Like,
I've had that same conversation. They're like basically 10 years older than I am now. They're so young.
right. Like they were in their 50s, like late 50s, and you're like, okay, that's kind of crazy. But so Patricia also had a comment about the trees, Jen. She said they look cute with some buttons on them. I do have a bunch of gold buttons, Jen, if you would like to try that at some point.
I know. I could go get my button box and see what I've got in there.
And then Michelle commented that making a better loop, twisting the wires together, cut one wire, bend the other into a loop, and then twist it around above the star. That would definitely be better. My floral wire was getting a little bit thick. So definitely go with the thinner wire and you can probably get a much nicer loop. I'm going to pop my camera on. So y'all, let me switch over to the handheld so I can show you what my little tree looks like on my actual tree. So I have this little matryoshki here that my dad got me when he went to Ukraine before all of the craziness there started. But you can see I just kind of looped the big loop over this little bough. But I think they look pretty cute there together, and they're very matchy. And then Honey's taking a nap under the table. So say hi.
Do you have a fabric thing in there just like you are at your own Joann's? Is that what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, Amy.
Definitely.
That is totally. It's right there. Yes, that is totally what you're seeing. I did buy it when my Joann's went out of business, and yeah, it was $25, and I was kind of back and forth on it because I was like, well, where am I going to get the bolts? And then one of the employees walked by with like this huge stack of cardboard bolts. And I was like, oh, can I buy those? And she goes, no, I'm putting them in the trash. You can just have them. And so then I was like, yes, I have to buy this. And I'm going to put it in my room and put all my fabrics on it because that way, like, I know what I've got. And you know, it's fun to look at it. And it looks pretty. You can kind of see like
it looks
I got
amazing.
It all. Yeah, it's fun. I went through and added more fabrics. I got a few more cardboard bolts the last time I was at Joann's. And yeah, so Lee said that she sees me more as Dorothy, which is funny because I don't know. She does have good comebacks, I will say that. But as far as her dress, Dorothy was kind of frumpy. So, and then Patricia said that I know what you mean about their ages. I thought they were in their 70s when I watched it, but I mean, I was like in high school at the time. So,
but they look so much older. They really do. It was shocking when I thought about it.
Yeah. It wasn't like designing women where you figured they were like in their like 30s, right? In their late 30s. That's how I always thought of designing women. Like, oh, they're all in their 30s and, you know, um but with Golden Girls, yeah, you just thought they were old. And then like Sophia wasn't even the oldest of the four of them. And, you know, she was being the mother. So anyway, let's get on to another craft. Jen, your tree looks great. I'm gonna go back
Thank
to
you.
yes, it looks super, super cute. I love it.
I'm just gonna sit here and mess around with my tree, and maybe I'll try the green fabric.
Okay. I'm sure Anne wants to see that. So let me go back to the other camera and we will switch over to another project. So I have a bunch of these vintage spools of thread and I inherited, well, I won't say inherited because my friend Seth just gave it to me, but it was full of all these old threads. And so last year I decided to make these cute little thread spool ornaments because this is all cotton thread, which means it's going to start disintegrating. I don't even know how old this is because I don't know when they stopped. This was 19 cents back in the day. So maybe, you know, I don't know when this was purchased, but it's a wooden spool. It's Coats and Clark's mercerized sewing thread. And, you know, cotton thread does not last forever like polyester. So I thought it would be fun to make some of these really cute little ornaments out of these. And I have these all over my tree, as I showed you earlier. And it's super simple because it's just some embroidery thread, some random buttons, and then you just kind of line everything up and do it. Now, you may be wondering why there's tape on these. Mrs. Henchy, who was the original owner of this thread and my domestic sewing machine, she taped these up. So I didn't untape them. It's kind of the whole, that's how she left things. And so I just left it. If you don't have, I mean, if you're using some of these and there's somebody else's, you can always, she didn't tape all of them. Like this one's not, or it was taped and the tape, I think, just disintegrated. So you can use some of the liquid adhesive, liquid stitch. It comes in a variety of names. So I have a big needle that I was going to use to thread some of these embroidery threads. So it's super, super simple, obviously. It's not, this is not a complicated project, but it's a good way to use these old spools because, you know, you certainly don't want to use that thread for any kind of a project. So I think this is a tapestry needle. It's pretty long. And I'm just going to double it up. Actually, let me pick a bead and then just put one on the bottom. And so this is probably way longer than I need for it to be. And I'm just going to kind of tie a knot in it, and then that's going to serve as the bottom piece of all of this. And okay, we got it going. So then I am going to use my, this is the closest one I have color-wise. Or let's wait. Let me wait on this and pull the put some more beads on the bottom. And so, like I said earlier, I have this huge jar of these beads. I think I got these at Michael's. It was like, you know, $4.99 for all of these beads, which is quite extensive. And they're just cheap plastic beads. So it's just kind of fun. The needle does not fit through all of them. So we have to find one that the needle will go through. Okay, that one, is that good? Oh no, the eye's not going through. Let's try this. This is a little pink heart. Make sure we're going the right direction. Oh, that's the wrong way. I'm going to get this, you guys, seriously.
That's so cute. I absolutely love these, Tony. They're so cool.
Thank you. Is that right? Yeah, that's the right one.
Yeah, because you don't want to use this vintage thread, which I have a ton of as well. My mom gave it to me. Ton of these spools, and they're beautiful, but you don't want to use them because they will fall apart.
Oh, for sure.
If you try and sew on a machine, I don't know about hand sewing, but when I've sewn with them, they just fell apart. So this is a great way to use those vintage threads.
I agree. And, you know, you can just do all, I'm going to add some, I think blue would be pretty with this. I'm going to put that at the very top to just kind of hold that in place. It's going into the top of the spool. And then let's put some more beads in here. Here's another little heart. That's cute. Put that on top. And oh, this is a pretty bead. So this is super sparkly. And I don't know where, there's the hole. Let's see if it goes through. Yes, perfect. So, you know, you can kind of make these as elaborate as you want. I think I'm going to stop there. And I don't have scissors over here, so I'm just cut real quick with these. And then just kind of like loop it. I'm going to tie a knot at the top. And then I just kind of looped the bottom through there. And so you can always trim off. I have a fake tree, so I need a lot of space for the looping, but you can just kind of see like it's super easy, super quick. This is another good craft if you have, you know, any kids around that you want to keep busy during, you know, family time. And it's just really fun, and it's pretty. It looks really nice. And you can see that I really sorted through beads when I made some of these other ones. And so that is my little thread spool. And then if you have empty ones, you could always just wrap thread around them, or you could use some scrappy fabric. And these, I think these are quilt scraps that my sister had. You could just use a hot glue gun and then just trim the fabric to whatever size you want. That one's a little small. Let me try this one. And then do that, and then hot glue it, and then use these as ornaments. And so that would be super cute as well. And then I also collect all of these plastic spools, because what else are you going to do with them? I don't think you can recycle these. And this is another great option for some of your scrap fabric. This is a piece that I made a skirt with not too long ago. And you could, you know, wrap this in like a, you know, more of a designer kind of way, maybe have a piece coming off the end and do a project that way and use up all these random plastic spools that, you know, don't need to end up in garbage. So that is my other
Love it.
other options for fun sewing themed project. Oh, so
I do have one more to show if you want to see it, Tony. I didn't kind of
okay, let me just pop in Julie's comment. Julie loves this. I know it's a great thing for spools, and if you have bias tape, it, you know, it's great projects, and they're just kind of fun to just do. And it's like, sometimes, you know, you just want to do some project that's going to be quick and it's not going to be complicated, and these are all good, and you basically get to use up all of your scrap fabric. And I don't know about you, but I have like a big tub of it that I just have in my closet, and I just kind of keep filling it up with more stuff. And so I've always got little pieces lying around, and they're just kind of random shapes. But when you're using something so small like a thread spool, and you just need a little tiny piece of fabric to wrap around it, you know, those little pieces add up, and then you can have something that looks nice. And, you know, it's a quick project, and you feel like you've done something with your time, and it's, I don't know, it's just fun. So
it's a justification for keeping your stash, that's for sure.
And all those scraps, because at some point, you know, I have some quilter friends, and I'm like, well, how much, you know, what do you keep? And they're like, as long as it's 1 by 1 inch, I'm good. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, but you know, because I mean, you know, they use those little teeny tiny pieces for centers of squares if you're making a log cabin or something like that, log cabin print. I don't know anything about quilting, so I might have just made that up. If you quilt, don't take it personally. It's just me. Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, I don't think you could do anything with that. But, you know, if you have one of these little tiny spools, you could use that and wrap it up and, you know, use a bunch of little scraps. So it's fun. Okay, Jen, how's it coming? You have something to show us?
Well, this is, I'm not loving the green fabric as much, but once it gets done. But I was going to show a couple of other things that I made that are super easy. I don't know if
that was so fun. Yes.
Yeah. So this is, I have actually a garland that I made similar to this. And what I did, you know, we were talking about using bias. I cut a bias strip that was just about like an 1/8 inch wider than the entire diameter of the bead I was using. And then I sewed it, of course, and made a tube. And then you just make a knot in it, and you slip a bead down in it and knot it again, and then knot it, and then you kind of just can I created a necklace, but I have a garland that I made similar to this as well. And these are fun, and they're kind of very, very easy, and can use your stash as well. So if you have enough fabric to make bias strips, this is a fun way to do that. And you can use like a larger bead. I also did it with ping pong balls for the garland, and I like that a lot. So yeah, that's like just another fun way to create like a very easy craft.
It looks like there's bead strands that people put like on shelves too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just have them loose on a shelf. Like,
yeah,
that's cool looking.
I created.
Jen, Jen and I, when was that? That was in 2021, I think, or 2020. Like, I don't remember. Jen, tilt your camera so we can see the top of your head.
Sorry.
There you go. That's okay. So,
this is the garland,
yeah,
a small garland that I made, and then there was a larger one. But anyway,
show it again. Show it again. Show it again.
Yeah, this is like a green silk that I had. And these are just like the striped. I had some striped silk as well for these, but yeah, they're just fun.
I agree 100%. Jen and I had this Christmas crafting thing back at her old house. I want to say it was like December of 2020 or 21. I don't remember when we did that, and that's when you started making that necklace. And then what kind of beads were those? Big wooden beads? I can't remember what kind of beads you used.
These are wooden beads, and then the really big one is ping pong balls, which are so fun. Larger, and that's the garland that's on my staircase. And then the small one, yeah, these were just smaller wooden beads. But yeah, and you were talking about just getting a variety of beads. It's always just like a great way to use up that kind of thing. So
yeah, for sure. So
they look great. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I do actually have some fun little gifts to give away. They're like little stocking stuffers, for lack of a better word. These are things that I use, and you've probably seen me use them in various videos. So if you would, I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do this. Oh, Jen, I have to pop this up. So Julie says that the garland is so chic, especially the silk one.
I mean, it's like so fun, It's good.
And your stuff, Jen has a very elegant Christmas look going on. And mine is a little bit messier, as you can see with this sewing tree. I actually have some of the gold fabric that Jen used to make that gold tree. She wrapped a present with it and gave it to me. And so I was like, my boyfriend was going to throw it away. I was like, no, I can go tie that on my tree. And then this was another ribbon that she put on, which is just some red that's kind of shreddy. It feels like I don't know what that is, a chiffon of some sort. And I just thought it's pretty to just kind of take some little scrappy pieces and tie them to your tree. And it's, my tree is very, So let's see how to do this, because we do have some little fun stocking stuffers. And I was thinking like I was going to number people as they came in, and then I was going to use a random number generator. So let me figure out how to do this. And if you're still on the stream right now, or you just joined the stream, let's say this way, if you want to be entered to win one of these little fun prizes, or I have 2 of these little birds to thread needles because I can't see anymore. I'm doing a Dritz EZY Hem as another little giveaway.
Right.
Just pop into the chat and say, I'm still here, and I will then generate some numbers from that. And
I would
based
be
on
entered.
Jen, you already have all these things, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't think I have those, but you know what? I was just kidding. I was just joking, but I love those items. Those are great choices. Good choices.
You know what, Tony? I'll send you some barrettes, and then whoever wins the lottery, they can have a barrette too.
Nice.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be
Love
fun.
it.
Oh, and you have to share because, like, okay, so Julie's here and Brenda's here. Anyone else? So Patricia's still here. So Brenda will be 1, Julie will be 2, and Patricia will be 3. And anybody else want to jump in on this? Because Jen said she was going to get in. Yeah, if you want to win one of these fun little things, Lee, I don't think you won any of these. I know you're still here. I appreciate you watching, but I don't think you won any of these sewing tools. I could get you I'll bring you a coffee to court when I come see you. So anybody else want to get in? Because as of right now, Patricia already has the Dritz EZY Hem. Apparently Lee wants to be entered in for the needle threader. Okay, you can for sure, my friend. So all right, I guess we'll do the random generator between 1 and 4 because it's only 4 of you that have popped up, and I do have 4 things. So everybody's guaranteed to win. And
everybody wins.
Let's just generate. Let's see. Okay, so the first thing we're going to win is going to be a needle bird. Let's see who wins. 4, I believe that is Lee. Okay, I will DL Graham, I will add you. Lee was number 4. Is that right? Yes, 4. So Lee, you won a thread bird. And I will bring that to you on Monday. I'm glad you're excited. And then DL Graham, let me add in the random number generator to 5 because you will be number 5. And then we will get rid of the let's do a different one. Let's do the 14-in-1 measuring gauge. This is one of my very, very favorite products. I use this all the time. My mom actually bought me like a whole bunch of these from the general store near the town where she lives, and I had a whole bunch of them, but I give them away to people. So the winner on this one is is number 2. So I think that's Julie is number 2. The Curated Curvy up in Dallas. So Julie, you can, I don't know, DM me, or if you want to send me an email with your address, I will pop this into the mail to you so you will get it. And the email is going to be hello@sosolounge.com. Let me pop that in there. So this is for everybody. If you want to, you want me to mail you your little free gift, and email me, and then that way your mailing address, and that way I have it. Oh, I'm so glad you're excited, Julie. And thank you for joining. If y'all don't know, like the Curated Curvy, it has her own YouTube channel, and she does a bunch of super cute stuff, and I watch her channel, and her name is Julie, and she's up in Dallas. And so I am super excited that you were excited about winning that, because I love it. And I know you're younger than I am, so your eyes are probably better. But I wear glasses, and then, once you get to a certain age, you just can't see those lines on your sewing machine anymore. So that's what I use mine for. Okay, so I think we're still at 5 people. I have, and this is not the Dritz EZY Hem you will win. You will win a nice one, a new one from, Amazon did not arrive in time. So this is mine. It is kind of bent here, but you will get a nice new Dritz EZY Hem. That is what we're going to do next. And if Patricia wins, I think that you already have one. So depending on if it's Patricia, Patricia was number 3. If you win, Patricia, I will give you a needle bird instead. Okay. But if it's not, then it's going to be the Dritz EZY Hem. So let's do a random number generator again. Let's generate again. Okay, so Patricia, you won the Dritz EZY Hem, so I will give you a needle bird instead, because I know you already have a Dritz EZY Hem. So we basically have 1 free giveaway left. It is the Dritz EZY Hem. If you are watching now and you did not pop into the comments, pop into the comments and let me know, because 3 people have already won. and we have one left. And I guess we should probably do different numbers now that we only have, I think only 2 people haven't won because there were only 5 people entered in. So this is your last chance. And, you know, whoever's watching, 14 of you, right now we have Patricia and DL Graham who are still in the running to win the Dritz EZY Hem. Actually, Patricia won. So it is going to be Brenda and DL Graham, or it's going to be random generate between 2. Brenda, will put you as number 1. I think you were originally number 1. And then DL Graham, you will be number 2.
Oh my God,
then,
the anticipation is real. I don't know how this got so exciting all of a sudden, but I am like, come on, guys, you can do it.
Well, nobody else has popped in there, so I'm glad you're excited to get the threader. It is really awesome. I have one. Mine is right here. It is this super cute little bird. It's a little bit stabby, so you got to be careful. But you can see it's like its little beak comes out, and then I don't know if that's not. Let me put it there so you can kind of see. So you can see how cute it is. It's got a little hook in its beak, and then you just grab the thread, pull it back through, and then this is really for hand sewing. So initially I thought that this would work for my machine because I can't see that either. And thankfully I have muscle memory because I've been using the same machine since I was 21. And so I know where the eye of the needle is. So I can usually get it on the first try without being able to see it. But this only works with hand sewing, which will be great for you, Lee, if you ever need to sew a button or something like that. There's 2 people then because nobody else has posted. And let's go back to the random number generator. Let me minimum 1, max of 2. Let's see who is going to win the Dritz EZY Hem. And it is going to be Brenda. So Brenda, if you want to email me at hello@SoSoLounge, I will pop this into the mail to you this coming week. Everybody be sure, except for Lee, because I see Lee every day, let me know your address so I can mail it to you. And I am so excited that we got together and got to do this. And does anyone have any questions or any close-ups you want to see or anything like that? If you didn't win, and what do you want to do? Do you want to just give the barrettes to DL Graham since it's the only person who hasn't won anything today?
Yes, that's great. Well, I was going to mail one to everyone. So if they give you their address, I'll mail them one too. And we'll just do all 5 people.
Okay, so DL Graham, you are a winner too. Hopefully you are excited about hair barrette. Anne's barrettes are really pretty. They are sparkly enamel. And I think Jen has some. I've got some. And the best thing, Anne, you have to tell here. Let me do close up for you, Anne. There we go.
So this is a brown glitter one I just made that was on special order. And then this is one I made that's like going out today. They're
super.
It's exciting.
Beautiful.
I love them.
They are very cute.
Yeah. Here's one.
Now
I just made this one too, also for special order. This one's the herringbone.
Oh, nice.
I love them. I'm obsessed with them because I'm obsessed with my hair.
Okay. So, Norma, I didn't realize you were still there. Norma gets a barrette too. And Iona just hopped on. Iona, I don't know if you want a barrette or if you just got here. So Norma, send your email. Here, let me write it in the chat again in case anybody missed it. And if you're watching this on the replay, this is only for everybody who showed up live to the Christmas party. So, if you missed out, then be sure to join us next year because I think we're going to do this again and probably have some different projects and some different guests. Maybe not, because if Anne and Jen want to come back next year, we're going to be down for it. And we might do something like this again. So if you are here live and you want a barrette, then just email me, and I'm going to pass your address on to Anne, and we will have some festive barrettes for you to wear in the new year, just in case.
Sure. Tony, you have to put the focus back on you.
And
though.
let me see. I am. I'm putting it back on me. It's like I'm looking at it like I'm just hanging out with Anne and Jen. So yeah. So everybody that joined us, thank you so much. This was so much fun. Don't forget to send me an email with your I know Julie because I know your channel, Julie. So thank you all for joining. It has been super fun. I hope you are inspired to make some fun little holiday crafts, and that, take pictures, tag me on Instagram at @SoSoLounge or hashtag #SoSoLounge or hashtag #SoSoParty, and then I'll know that you were here making these fun little crafty things with us that are all sewing themed, because we like to stick with the sewing. But Anne or Jen, do you want to say anything else?
Thank you
for inviting us.
Yes, so fun.
I love
it.
I love
awesome.
Like my passive commentary activity.
That is awesome. I'm so glad you ladies joined me. Thank you to everyone who was here, and just have a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. We might do another fun crafting live, or I think, Anne, you have a suggestion. What was your suggestion, Anne? Tell the people.
One, I thought you could teach me. I mean, I think your viewers are all largely sewers, but I thought you could teach me how to set up my sewing machine, like sewing 101. And then I also had an idea about we talked about using scrap material to make like headbands and stuff, which I think would be great. But also, I also think that there's like a group of not yet golden girl aged women out there who are all kind of, starting their own businesses or doing side hustles or doing something. You and I have both kind of been doing that. And so I think that would be a nice conversation to have, like other kind of like entrepreneurs out there, and have some kind of like discussion about why, I would love to hear your origin
story. That does sound good. And we're losing you via audio.
Oh.
Okay, and you're going to have to repeat that. We lost your audio. Yeah, we could see you, but we lost your audio. It cut out. So we heard the headband part, but then after that.
Oh, I was talking about the entrepreneurial part of it, about
okay.
Like women who because I wanted to know your origin story of how you jumped from I mean, you're a lawyer. I don't know if everyone knows this, but then also having your YouTube channel. I would love to know that story.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun. So we'll plan some fun live streams in the new year. I'm going to try and start coming to you guys regularly, because it's fun to hang out. It is fun to hang out with my friends who also love doing creative, artistic things. And I think that's the whole point, is like, get out of your comfort zone and go be creative and do something fun that you can share with somebody else. And when you do it with friends, it's even better. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Have an awesome, awesome holiday season. I am so thankful for all of you for watching and for joining in today. If you catch this on the replay, just say hi. Let me know where you're from. And if you enjoyed some of the fun little crafts that we've done, and now you've got a new use for all of those scraps you've got laying around. So everyone, thank you again. And I got to figure out how this screen is like moving around over here, and I can't figure out how to end this thing. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys. Merry Christmas next year.
Bye.
Bye. And I don't know what's happening. There we go. Bye, everyone. Merry Christmas.